It's the start of a new school year, and Jin, the most popular and confident guy, is making his grand introduction, effortlessly charming the girls with his bad boy appeal. In stark contrast, our protagonist, Tukamoto, stumbles through his own introduction, his nervousness palpable, much to the boredom of his new classmates. Jin, in need of players for a soccer team, sees an easy target in Tsukamoto, honest and eager to please. Tsukamoto, thrilled to finally have friends, quickly tells his childhood friend, Sutsuki, who is equally delighted. They head off to meet Jin's intimidating gangster-like teammates, leaving Tsukamoto terrified of making any mistakes. The first match kicks off, and Tsukamoto's attempts to control the ball are nothing short of chaotic. The ball bounces off him everywhere, his face, his body, as he repeatedly trips and falls. By halftime, everyone's shocked to see Tsukamoto's foot bleeding profusely. Satsuki even faints at the sight of his mangled foot. Despite pleas from his teammates to stop, Tsukamoto stubbornly removes his shoe and continues playing. The second half mirrors the first, with Tsukamoto comically injuring himself further, even headbutting a wall to save a goal. Just when all hope seems lost, Jin skillfully dribbles past opponents, but his shot hits the post. In a moment of pure determination, Tsukamoto lunges forward, heading the ball into the goal, though he collides with the post, again re-injuring himself. His teammates erupt in celebration, Satsuki's eyes fill with tears, and Jin hugs Tsukamoto, reveling in their victory. After the match, Tsukamoto thanks Tune for the opportunity. On his way home, Jin smiles, remembering Tsukamoto's unwavering spirit. The next day, Tsukamoto decides to join Jin in signing up for the school's soccer club. Mitsuki, the strict team captain, greets the hopeful new recruits. Their first challenge, 100 laps. Tsukamoto, physically unfit, collapses after only 20 laps, Mitsuki sending him home. Later that evening, Jin feels guilty for encouraging Tsukamoto, but his remorse is cut short when Sutsuki bursts in, revealing Tsukamoto never made it home. They rush back to the field to find Tsukamoto with swollen feet, desperately trying to complete his 100 laps, with Mitsuki having pleaded with the captain to let him continue. Jin praises Tsukamoto's determination, but Tsukamoto breaks down, weeping over his own weakness. The first-year student's next practice session focuses on running, and Tsukamoto's slow pace consistently puts him and the entire group at the back, earning them extra laps as punishment from the second-year supervisors. Jin, however, defiantly refuses to run, claiming Tsukamoto is a special player who doesn't need to conform, leaving the seniors speechless. Exhausted, the first years collapse after practice. Jin offers Tsukamoto water, while Kyosu angrily confronts Tsukamoto, accusing him of holding the team back due to his lack of skill and slow pace. Everyone else silently agrees, and a dejected Tsukamoto runs off. The following day, Tsukamoto is seen running alone after practice. His teammates learn he asked the captain for permission to do extra laps, not wanting to disturb anyone. He also told the captain that practicing with everyone made him feel excited. Kyosu and his friends, feeling guilty, watched Tsukamoto's relentless solitary runs day after day. Eventually, Jin explains Tsukamoto's dedication. He's training so hard to keep up with the team, not to be a burden. Even as Tsukamoto collapses from exhaustion on the road, his teammates join him, running alongside, fueling his renewed determination. Witnessing this, Mitsuki tells Coach Nakazawa that Tsukamoto will undoubtedly be the school captain within 2 years. Days later, a high school training session brings together various schools. Seisei High School, with their menacing black uniforms, looks formidable, especially with their former professional player captain, Mitsuki, and the charismatic Jin. Tsukamoto's weak appearance stands out in their midst. Everyone assumes he's the team manager, with one student even asking him to get Mitsuki's autograph. Their laughter turns to disbelief when they realize he's a player. The training begins with a grueling mountain climbing race. Many drop out from exhaustion, but Seisei leads. Surprisingly, it's not Mitsuki at the front, but the seemingly novice Tsukamoto, his sheer enthusiasm driving the entire team forward. Later at the cafeteria, Tsukamoto overhears a boy mocking Jin's laziness. Jin stops Tsukamoto from retaliating, but the boy's continued insults, now directed at Tsukamoto, push Jin to confront him, leading to a brawl that the coach has to break up. In the bathroom, Tsukamoto asks Kyosu about Jin's middle school days. He reveals Jin was a talented player who could win games single-handedly, but his laziness cost him a spot on the team by the end of the season. Back in their shared room, Tsukamoto sees Jin being scolded by his manager. Later that night, Tsukamoto finds Jin secretly practicing alone, realizing that people's perceptions of Jin might be wrong. Tsukamoto then asks Jin to teach him how to pass the ball. Jin agrees, enjoying Tsukamoto's joy as he touches the ball, and even shows off his own impressive shots, ditching his arrogant facade. Exhausted from their late-night practice, they oversleep, making the whole group wait. The next day, it's announced that Seisei High School will have a practice match against Omiya School, but Jin won't be playing. An Omiya player who knew Jin from middle school snubs Tsukamoto, refusing to shake his hand and insulting him. The match begins, and Tsukamoto immediately fumbles his first pass, giving the opposing team an early scoring opportunity that is narrowly saved by their goalkeeper. The opponents quickly identify Tsukamoto as the team's weak link, mocking him relentlessly. Embarrassed, Tsukamoto calms himself, realizing his only strength is to run. He runs tirelessly, despite his mistakes, constantly encouraging his teammates. His enthusiasm galvanizes the team, their passes becoming faster and more coordinated, wearing down the opposition. Kyosu, who had always admired Jin's skill, is inspired by Tsukamoto's determination, and in the final moments of the match, he scores a beautiful header, securing their victory. Even in defeat, the opposing team tries to mock Tsukamoto, but this time, his entire team stands by him. After the match, Tsukamoto asks Mitsuki for shooting guidance. Despite his injury, Mitsuki agrees. Tsukamoto sees his captain's smile for the first time. Tsukamoto attempts to shoot, but his shot is terrible, prompting Mitsuki to demonstrate with powerful example shots that leave Tsukamoto stunned. Mitsuki explains that Tsukamoto needs to control his mind and synchronize it with the ball to improve. Following this advice, Tsukamoto strikes the ball forcefully, sending it straight into the goal. Second-year students observing them express concern about Mitsuki's injury and tell him to stop practicing. Mitsuki tells Tsukamoto to continue alone. The seniors reflect on how Mitsuki, like Tsukamoto, joined the club without knowing how to play, but became the team's best player through sheer hard work. Mitsuki, though not one to accept praise, agrees with the comparison, adding that Tsukamoto is even more hardworking and talented and will surely achieve something miraculous in the future. Tsukamoto's daily routine now consists of constant running and practice. In class, he asks his classmate Ubikata to clean the classroom, a task he usually performs for her since she never does her share. He explains he needs time for soccer practice, but Ubikata, feigning her grandmother's illness, leaves anyway. Meanwhile, Jin continues to impress seniors with his superior soccer skills during practice. The next day, Ubikata observes Tsukamoto's relentless jogging, his dedication inspiring her friends. Jin, ever the latecomer, offers various excuses to their teacher, even trying to charm them and the girls with his physique. Ubikata continues to use her grandmother's illness as an excuse to skip cleaning, baffled by Tsukamoto's unwavering dedication to football despite his apparent lack of talent, which reminds her of her own past failures. One rainy day, seeing Tsukamoto still practicing, Ubikata, enraged, confronts him, scolding him and telling him that football isn't for him and he'll never be like Jin. But Tsukamoto simply bows, thanks her for her concern, and resumes running, leaving a confused Ubikata. On our way back to school, Ubikata overhears Jin's group, sheltering from the rain, discussing why Tsukamoto is always late for club practice. It's because he's stuck doing the classroom cleaning. Realizing her mistake, Ubikata rushes after Tsukamoto, again urging him to quit football, insisting it doesn't suit him. Tsukamoto refuses, asserting his lifelong interest in football and his desire to achieve that ability even if he fails, believing it will make his life meaningful. Ubikata, struck by his words, stops while Tsukamoto continues running. At home, Ubikata reflects on her own childhood dreams and passion, developing a newfound respect for Tsukamoto. During practice, Kyosu easily dribbles past Tsukamoto, who struggles to even touch the ball. Tsukamoto humbly asks Kyosu to teach him how to defend, and Kyosu agrees. The next day, Ubikata and her friends view Tsukamoto differently, appreciating his honesty and gentleness, though they still enjoy teasing him. During gym class, Tsukamoto accidentally wears his soccer club uniform, prompting another boy to challenge him, showcasing his dribbling skills and evading Tsukamoto. But Tsukamoto doesn't give up, tackling and blocking the ball, much to the girls' excitement. The boy regains possession, only for Tsukamoto to block him again. A fierce struggle for the ball ensues, with Tsukamoto eventually gaining control. As he charges forward, the boy grabs his shirt, pulling him back. Ubikata, to everyone's surprise, starts cheering loudly for Tukamoto. This encouragement fuels Tukamoto, but he still misses the shot. The next day, Ubikata decides to clean the classroom herself, allowing Tukamoto to practice with the team, surprising everyone. Jin teases both of them. That evening, Captain Mitsuki announces Ubikata as the team's new manager, causing discomfort among the players, but delighting Tukamoto. Later, Jin and Tukamoto stay late to help Kaseha, a senior, with his practice. After practice, they have dinner together. Tukamoto praises his seniors, while Jin openly points out the team's weaknesses. Kaseha laughs, acknowledging his flaws, and expresses his determination to be selected for the upcoming inter-school tournament, as it might be his last one. Tukamoto is saddened by this news. Kaseha knows his chances of being selected are slim. Jin later reveals to Tukamoto that Kaseha's grandmother is ill, which is why this is likely his last tournament. Kasehija was truly working hard and was determined to make a place in the starting lineup. The next day, Sakamoto continuously followed Ubikata's orders, and in the evening, he helped Kasehija with his practice. A few days later, a list of 17 front players was announced. Everyone was quite scared. Sakamoto secretly prayed for Kasehija to be selected, but surprisingly, the 17th player chosen was Sakamoto. The coach didn't say anything about this decision and left. Everyone was shocked to hear this. Kasehija stood up and called Sakamoto to meet him on the soccer field. Sakamoto was quite sad for him. Kasehija secretly cried a lot in the bathroom, while Sakamoto sadly looked at his number 17 jersey. Later, Kasehija met him on the soccer field, who had come to train Sakamoto in football. Sakamoto started crying seeing this. In the first match of the group stage, Saitazaki's team faced the Teteyama team. Sakamoto was kept as a reserve player. Ubikata made him do many odd jobs because she didn't think the coach would put him on the field. Even sitting on the bench, Sakamoto didn't leave any stone unturned to encourage his teammates. Saitazaki got many opportunities, but all went in vain. According to the goalkeeper, the pace of the game was very slow and sluggish, so if the other team counter-attacked, it could be very dangerous. The coach also started feeling quite bored because the players were running as if they were playing in a muddy swamp. Then they looked at Sakamoto, who was full of enthusiasm, so they decided to send him to the field. Everyone was surprised to hear this. Sakamoto was substituted in as player number 11, who encouraged him with a headbutt. As soon as he joined the team, he infused new energy into the team due to his innocence and enthusiasm. The spectators felt that Sakamoto might be their secret weapon, but unfortunately he kept missing the ball continuously and became a laughingstock for the people. But he still didn't give up. He just kept running and running. Sakamoto tried his best to do what he could, and then he stopped a fast-moving ball with such agility that it infused tremendous energy into the entire team, and the team started playing much faster. After this, they started attacking the opponent one after the other. The spectators and players all cheered the team with full vigor. Ubikata couldn't believe that Sakamoto could do something like this. After the match, Sakamoto and Ubikata started going home together. Passing through the crowd, Sakamoto was quite sad because he didn't play anything special. Not only that, he also received a yellow card. Because of him, the opponent also got a penalty. Luckily, the goalkeeper blocked the ball, and in a counter-attack, Jean got a good chance to score a goal, and with that goal, the team won. Ubikata started scolding him for his sad outlook, which attracted everyone's attention sitting there. Then she handed him the camera and left angrily. Sakamoto watched the video where everyone was praising his game and cheering him on. Tears came to his eyes seeing this. He was about to get off the train when a man stopped him. This man had also watched this video with him and had started crying a lot. Then he introduced himself, saying his name was Kazuna, the captain of the soccer team. Then, wiping his tears, he said that he wanted to play a football match with Sakamoto. Sakamoto got nervous hearing this. Then he started spinning the ball on his finger. Sakamoto was stunned to see this. Then he further said that he was a friend of their captain Mizuki. And then, talking about Mizuki's injury, he said that if he came back to the team, Sakamoto would not get a chance. Sakamoto knew this, but he would be even happier if Mizuki returned. He took Sakamoto to a sports center where he was very happy to see many girls playing football. Then he took him to the soccer field for the match. They both were divided into two different teams. Sakamoto's team had a lot of faith in him because he was wearing the Saitazaki team's jersey. Here, even though Kazuna was acting crazy with the ball, everyone knew that during the match, he played like a monster. The match started, and with just a few basic passes, Kazuna's team took the lead. After this, with Kazuna's slight assist, Sakamoto's team conceded many goals. The first half ended. Sakamoto was surprised to see that Kazuna's team had taken such a big lead in just 10 minutes of play. All the players started talking about Kazuna's amazing skills. He didn't even shoot the ball but only passed it to others. Hearing this, Sakamoto realized that Kazuna was holding back his skills.
Before the second half started, Sakamoto told Kazuna not to hide his skills like this. Kazuna got confused hearing this and told him that he was only passing because that's what was needed at the moment. Whether it's a practice match or an official match, he's serious in every match. He uses what is needed at that moment because he wants to win the match and that is his only goal. He also wants to see how Sakamoto plays football. The second half started and this time, Kazuna hit a powerful shot, shaking the opponent's net. Not only that, he was also very good at ball blocking. Because of this, Sakamoto's team could not score a single goal. The score was still 0 in 20 minutes. Seeing this, Sakamoto decided that he would somehow score a respectable goal. At the same time, he would also show Kazuna his playing style. He ran and kept running, which attracted the attention of the opposite team, taking advantage of which Sakamoto's team easily scored a goal by passing the ball to each other. The whole group celebrated this goal with great joy. Sakamoto was also very happy with his teammates. The match continued until Sakamoto collapsed from exhaustion. Finally, Kazuna had to call Mizuki to take him away. Before Mizuki picked up Sakamoto to take him home, Kazuna told him that he was eagerly waiting for their match.
In the changing room, Jin saw that Sakamoto's shoes were completely ruined. Suddenly, their senior, Kimishima, came in angrily and scolded Kazo for leaving his belongings on the ground. If he left anything again, he would crush it. In the evening, Jin and Sakamoto went to a sports equipment shop to buy shoes for Sakamoto. But there they were surprised to remember that Kimishima was sitting at the counter of that shop. In fact, it was his family's store. Then Kimishima gave Jin some money to get ice cream and asked Sakamoto what he had come there for. After selling a pair of shoes to Sakamoto, Kimishima said that he would never pass the ball to Sakamoto because he played very badly. Even if the team and coach had accepted him, Kimishima would never accept him. Hearing this, Sakamoto became sad and started asking Jin about the technique of receiving passes. Meanwhile, at the shop, Kimishima found Sakamoto's worn-out shoes. He wondered how anyone's shoes could get so bad in just 2 months. The next morning, Kimishima again entered the first-year changing room with his fierce attitude. Everyone was quite scared to see him except Sakamoto. Sakamoto warmly welcomed him. Then Kimishima returned his old shoes, which he had repaired. Sakamoto was very happy to see this. During the practice match, Kimishima did not pass any ball to Sakamoto. Seeing this, Sakamoto started remembering Kazu and Jin's words and realized that he did not have to request for a pass, but rather he had to find a spot where it would be easy for his teammates to pass the ball. Kimishima saw that Sakamoto was moving in a good position. Seeing this, he passed the ball to Sakamoto. Sakamoto moved forward to take advantage of this opportunity, but he missed the shot. Kimishima's anger knew no bounds. The very next day, another important match was held, where the winner would go to the semi-finals. In this match, Jin displayed his superior skill beautifully and scored a goal, giving the team a tremendous victory. Everyone praised his talent. As for Sakamoto, he was so impressed by Jin that he started crying profusely. Jin always tries to give his 100% during the match. The coach said that the team would get a day off tomorrow to rest. Everyone was very happy to hear this. Jin asked Sakamoto to hang out, but Sakamoto refused, saying he was a bit busy. Jin knew that Sakamoto's busyness was his running practice. He advised him not to practice so much. After all, he still had 3 years to give to the team. But Sakamoto said that 3 years would pass by quickly, and if he didn't try, he would be left behind. Seeing his determination, Jin realized that Sakamoto was right. This had happened to him before, when his carelessness had caused him to regret it later. That's why he tells Sakamoto that every player has been given time to rest their body so that their body can stay fit. On the day of the semi-final match, when the team was discussing in the changing room, Yubitaka told everyone that Sakamoto was still in the toilet. Meanwhile, in the toilet, Sakamoto met a boy who looked like a girl who introduced himself as Kaz's younger brother. He had heard a lot about Sakamoto from Kaz. As he left, he gave him the message that if they won this match, they would officially be able to play against them. But Sakamoto didn't understand this at all. The semi-final match started. Sakamoto also became very excited seeing the wave of enthusiasm among the spectators, while Captain Mitsuki was very angry because he was not allowed to play. Team Sakukazusa were all watching this match very closely. They were confident that Saizaki's team was much better than their opponent, and accordingly, Saizaki's team started performing better. But on the contrary, the opposing team started targeting Jin's legs instead of the ball, causing Jin to fall badly. But still, the referee didn't give him any card. Seeing this, the opponent team started playing even more violently. If this continued, the players would be admitted to the hospital. Realizing this, the coach decided to send Sakamoto to the field. Sakamoto entered the field feeling quite nervous. After all, it was an important match. But seeing the trust and enthusiasm of the people towards him, he regained his energy and joined the team's attack at full speed. Kimishima passed the ball to Jin in the penalty area, but Jin's shot hit the post.
The ball bounced back and Sakamoto tried to head the ball, taking advantage of this opportunity. But the opponent kicked Sakamoto in the chest, causing him to faint. The opposing team started making fun of him for leaving the field on a stretcher. Sakamoto decided to not give up and rolled off the stretcher and tried to stand up because he wanted to continue playing. But then Captain Mitsuki picked him up and said that he would handle the rest. After this, the captain entered the field. Everyone was very happy to see him. Only 7 minutes were left in the match, but Mitsuki announced that he would score a goal within the next 5 minutes. 3 players of the opposite team surrounded him so that he could not touch the ball. Here, Jean was dribbling the ball, and there, Mitsuki was not moving at all. Then, taking advantage of the opportunity, Mitsuki suddenly moved out of the crowd at high speed. He was so fast that even when 3 people pulled him, they could not stop him. Then he jumped very high in the direction of the ball and scored a goal with his header. With this, the match ended and Saizaki's team won the match. Captain Mitsuki encouraged Sakamoto to have confidence because he was not useless. Sakamoto and Jean met that young boy again and found out that the boy was the best player at Saku High School. The coach showed the team the video of Saku High School semi-final match because they were going to face that team in the finals. The Saku team had easily defeated the opponent by 0. The coach made it very clear to them that this was the strongest Saku High School team ever. With 4 strikers, this team included goalkeeper Janka, defender Tanju, center Kaz, and the most dangerous striker Suji, who had scored the most goals in the tournament. But the coach also said that Saizaki's team was also very strong with its 3 main strikers, striker Jean, midfielder Keizai, and left winger Mitsuki. After the meeting, Sakamoto was about to go for practice again when his teammates blocked his way, fearing that he might die of exhaustion. Well, instead of practicing, he went to his mother's workplace, who was playing with children in a wheelchair. Now, since he left early today, he decided to go home with his mother, which made his mother very happy. His mother showed him his jersey, which they had washed. Sakamoto was happy to see this. His mother couldn't believe that he was in the starting lineup of Saizaki's team in tomorrow's final match. When he went to take a bath, his mother saw his messages, which were full of blessings and encouragement given by people. She became very emotional seeing this. Meanwhile, all the key members of the team were busy with their final preparations. Coach Sahib went to Kimishima's shop and asked him to help their team's key talent soar high. Kimishima realized that the player the coach had not even mentioned was none other than himself. The next morning, both teams arrived at the soccer field with their kids. Both sides were vying to get the upper hand on each other, but their coaches started talking about family matters among themselves. Sakamoto was very excited to enter the player-only passageway, but then the security guard stopped him. He thought he wasn't a player. Not only Sakamoto but also the guard stopped Suji, who was the striker of the Saku team. The guard suspected them of being players due to their height. But then Sakamoto introduced Suji to both the security guards. Well, the security guards let them go and Suji thanked Sakamoto wholeheartedly and promised to score many goals against them as he left. In the locker room, Saizaki's team heard from outside that Saku team would easily win this match. The coach said that the Saku team had won many tournaments, so everyone held them in high regard. But we will definitely win this match. Captain Mitsuki also energized the team members with his motivational speech. Sakamoto was given the responsibility of saying warm words, which he also lived up to everyone's expectations. Then, shaking hands with everyone one by one, he started sending them towards the ground. The spectators cheered both the teams with full enthusiasm, and with this, the match started. Kimishima passed the ball to Jean on the right wing instead of passing it to Mitsuki. But strangely, Jean failed to control the ball. Everyone, including Sakamoto, was shocked to see this. He must be in some kind of trouble. Even Jean couldn't believe that he couldn't feel the ball. He became very confused, but then he realized that this was nothing but his overexcitement. He immediately regained his form and skillfully dribbled past the opponent's defenders and headed straight for the post without passing to anyone. But before he could shoot the goal, Kazo blocked him and he failed to score. Even though he couldn't score a goal, everyone was quite impressed by his feat. They got a corner kick. Kazo realized that the team that was almost lost had been greatly revived by the arrival of these two boys. Here, when Jean got the ball again, he went ahead to finish it himself, but this time Suji easily snatched it from him and easily dribbled past the Saizaki's defenders and shot the goal into the post. But fortunately, the goalkeeper's attention was completely on the ball, which helped him save the goal. Suji regretted saying that his shot was not good at all. Then he went to Jean and bragged that he had dribbled past more people than Jean. But when Jean didn't respond, he left. Realizing Suji's danger, all 4 defenders of Saizaki followed him. Suzuki also came to watch this match. She was completely amazed to see Suji's game because he was dribbling past Saizaki's defenders as if he was playing with children. They had no way to stop him. Then the ball went to the side. This time it was Saizaki's throw-in. Seeing the defenders panting, Suji mocked them and provoked them. Kimishima passed the ball to Mitsuki. He had full trust in his captain. Mitsuki dribbled past the opponent and easily dodged the defense shooting at the post from a distance of 400 meters. The shot was so powerful that the goalkeeper had to use both fists to push it away, giving Saizaki's team a corner kick. Kazuo immediately sent 3 of his players to mark Mitsuki. Kimishima was ready for the corner kick. Mitsuki jumped and signaled Kimishima to send the ball towards him. Kimishima crossed the ball to Mitsuki's position, where Mitsuki volleyed it but could not beat the goalkeeper. The coach told Sakamoto to pay close attention to all these things because Mitsuki wanted to send a message to him and the entire team through this. The coach had advised Mitsuki to play cautiously before the match because he was still injured, but in this match, he was giving his 100%. A long time ago, when Mitsuki joined the team, he was like a mouse thrown among lions. But due to his grandfather's encouragement, he did not give up and kept trying, and today he has reached this position. Here in the match, Mitsuki was able to take the ball to the post despite being so heavily surrounded. He wanted to tell Sakamoto that it doesn't matter what anyone says, if he works hard, he will surely succeed. Then Mitsuki scored a magnificent goal with his left foot, giving the team a 0 lead. Saizaki's team started celebrating happily, while Sakamoto's face remained completely stunned, because he had finally received Mitsuki's message. The Saku team was now behind Saizaki, so they started planning a strategy to tie it. As soon as the whistle blew, the game started again. This time Jin was going to mark Kazu. Everyone was surprised to see this. In fact, this was part of their strategy. The coach had told him that if they took the lead before the Saku team, he would have to stop Kazu at all costs. If he managed to handle him, they would definitely win. But suddenly, the Saku team also scored a goal, and the score was tied. And surprisingly, the one who scored the goal was none other than Kazu. Jin didn't understand how this happened. He just felt a gust of Kazu's speed and the goal was scored. Then Kazu went to Jin and told him that he was good, but if he wanted to mark him, he would have to wait for the next 2 years. Sakamoto looked at Jin nervously because he was in such a state that he seemed to have lost faith in himself. But Jin immediately regained his composure, even though it was very difficult for him to mark Kazu. But his team still showed full faith in him. The first half of the final match between Saizaki and Saku teams ended. Both the teams had scored 1 goal each, but the game was still leaning towards the Saku team. Jin's nose was still bleeding uncontrollably.
Meanwhile, Sakamoto's emotions overflowed upon hearing Ubakata's words. He tried not to cry, feeling incompetent and his whole body trembled. However, they didn't blame him at all. Seeing them, he felt their winning spirit hadn't faded. He resolved to put in his full effort, not for himself, but for his team. Hearing this, Ubakata grabbed his collar and told him to cry, saying it would relieve his sorrow. As long as he didn't give up, he should live freely. Since his friends hadn't blamed him, he shouldn't bear such a burden. Upon hearing this, Sakamoto remembered his teammates, their encouraging words bringing him to tears, as if all his pent-up sorrow was finally released. Sakamoto then started jogging with determination to escape the shadow of defeat. Suddenly, he met Shizu. Seeing him train so hard, Shizu remembered his previous loss. She didn't want him to be sad like this, so she invited him to the night festival. That night, Shizu wore a beautiful kimono, which made Sakamoto go crazy with admiration, praising her repeatedly. Shizu reminded him of old times, cautioning him not to get lost again like he did as a child. Sakamoto became embarrassed. She then recalled when Sakamoto used to play water polo and wear her cross, which his friends also teased him about. Poor Sakamoto felt quite embarrassed remembering all this. He then arrived at a noodle shop where Kimishita was making noodles. Seeing Sakamoto, he quickly urged him to buy some. Sakamoto bought the noodles and handed them to Shizu. 2 of his senior teammates followed behind, talking to him. Shizu was happy that Sakamoto had made so many friends. She consoled him for his loss, knowing he was a very responsible person. Her words lightened Sakamoto's heart, and he promised to become better and better. Shizu then asked him to catch fish from a goldfish shop, but he was quite scared, not thinking he could do it. Shizu remembered that actually, it was she, not Sakamoto, who had gotten lost at the fair as a child. Sakamoto had encouraged her and sent her home. She was getting emotional thinking about all this when Sakamoto caught a goldfish. He accepted Shizu's compliment and was then dragged away by some boys. The boys had accidentally broken Kimishita's stall and needed to fix it, so they grabbed Sakamoto to help. But before leaving, Sakamoto tried to teach them how to learn more efficiently. Kyusu told him not to act so knowledgeable. Hearing this, Kimishita got quite angry. Kimishita was one of the top second-year students, so he took it upon himself to teach the boys. He started teaching them, showing off his pen tricks. Sakamoto also supported Kimishita and helped him teach. Then a boy complained that Jin was playing instead of studying. Seeing this, Kimishita got very angry and was about to hit him. But then, Jin showed his academic achievements, astonishing everyone. He was very good at studying. Kimishita asked him what he was doing there if he was so good at studying, to which Jin replied that he was just there to have fun. Kimishita then sent him back home. During summer vacation, Sayazaki's team went to Kagoshima Station for 5 days and 4 nights of practice. As always, Sayazaki's team was the center of attention among the other teams, especially their champion captain Mitsugi. Kyusu and Sakamoto were very excited to be there. They thought they would have a lot of fun. But then, Ubukata told them that all the strong teams were participating this year, so she hoped no one would slack off during practice. On the training ground, the coach started to motivate his team. Captain Mitsugi also told the first years that it didn't matter if they were in the starting lineup or not, but if they showed their full determination and efforts, one day they would definitely make their place in it. Hearing this, the first years rejoiced and promised to practice with full sincerity and one day surpass their seniors and take their place. Then, Sakamoto was reminded that he could take Kitai's position. Hearing this, Kitai got very angry and headbutted him. Yuzu calmed him down and explained that taking Kitai's position wouldn't be easy because he was a very talented player on this team. The opening match between Basso and Sayazaki's team began. Basso's number 10 started carefully observing Sayazaki's team, but by the time the halftime whistle blew, they had already conceded 3 goals to Sayazaki's team. Captain Mitsugi scored 2 goals, and Jin scored an unbelievable goal. The coach decided to bring in some reserve first-year players, and Sakamoto was given the opportunity to play in Kitai's place. But Kitai didn't want that. As a result, a big argument started between the coach and Kitai. Sakamoto was worried seeing Kitai struggling with the opponent's defense. Kimishita told him that Kitai, despite being one of Sayazaki's 3 attacking spearheads, had scored very few goals, and that was because he was so eager to score that he drew the attention of the opposition's defenders, which created a lot of space for Jin and Mitsugi. Therefore, the best way for him to improve would be to be patient. Meanwhile, Kitai passed the ball to Captain Mitsugi. The captain dribbled past the defender for a while and then passed the ball back to him. Then, Kitai quickly dribbled the ball past the goalkeeper and took a brilliant shot, scoring a goal. Everyone was astonished to see this. Kitai was also overjoyed. But then, the coach decided to rest him and put Sakamoto in. Hearing this, Kitai screamed with such sorrow that the team had to drag him out to remove him. Sayazaki had put 4 new players into the match, and Sakamoto was one of them. Seeing his close friends on the field, Sakamoto resolved to win this match at all costs. Then, when the whistle blew, he started running. He ran behind the ball, but the opponent didn't give him a chance to touch it. Still, Sakamoto continued to follow the ball. Seeing him, the fans in the opposition team were surprised. But still, Sakamoto's efforts were no match for the opponent's dribbling, and the opponent scored a goal. Sakamoto was confused about what was happening. The coach said that just running alone behind the ball wasn't enough. In the previous match, his move was successful because Jin had attracted the opponent, and if he missed the ball, Mitsugi was supporting him and Kimishita was watching the passing. They further said that the reason for him playing this match was so that he could understand his shortcomings and improve them. Meanwhile, the opposite team scored another goal. The substitute players were in a bad state. Sakamoto didn't know how to win this match now. Then, Kyusu asked Sakamoto the reason for such a big difference between his and Kimishima's playing styles. So why such a difference? Sakamoto said Kimishima was better than him, but Kyusu thought he just needed to control the ball and shoot well at the right time. The other 2 players also started understanding their shortcomings. Well, after this conversation, their confidence was regained, and they were determined not just to play the match, but to win it. Sakamoto's face showed even more hunger for victory than before. Kyusu's group found a large bra in the washroom. They were quite happy to find it and wondered whose it could be. They were sure it wasn't Ubukata's. They were happily talking when Ubukata caught them behind and gave them a beating. Then, she called all the first years together downstairs and said that she didn't understand how they could be happy about their victory when all the work had already been done by the seniors in the first half. Then, she noticed that Sakamoto wasn't there. Then, Kisa told her that he had gone to meet the third-year senior. Meanwhile, Sakamoto went to meet Hiwata, who was watching the match video. Sakamoto hesitantly said that he had heard he had the match tape, so he had come to get it for a while. But Hiwata told Sakamoto to sit there and watch the tape. While watching the match, Hiwata said that he had watched this match tape 3 times. By watching it, he was trying to learn from his mistakes and improve them so that he could secure his place in the team. Hearing this, Sakamoto also said that he also wanted to play like Kitai, because after all, he was his reserve player. At this, Hiwata punched him hard and said that if he were Kitai, he would have dodged there. He forbade him from imitating others' play and giving him the videotape said that he should choose his own playing style and improve it. The next morning, the coach said that they would keep the same formation as the previous day. Knowing that the first years had not performed well yesterday, Sakamoto was moved to the central back position, which surprised Sakamoto. He asked the coach for the reason, but the coach didn't give him any explanation. They just wished him good luck and left. Saizaki's second match began. They were facing Zenko High School. Sakamoto was assigned the task of marking the opposition striker, but by the time break again, he had already given the opposition a chance to score. But luckily, Hiwata came at the right time and blocked the ball, and showcasing his amazing defensive moves, single-handedly destroyed the opposition's attacking moves. Everyone was surprised to see this. During the break, when one of the opposition team's players was injured, Hiwata looked a little worried. He thought that if his team continued to play like this, they would definitely lose. Then his teammates came to him and started asking him many questions. Hearing this, Hiwata got confused. Then Hiwata solved everyone's problems one by one and gave them a compact training session. Then, he created a very good game strategy. Sakamoto asked him how to defend effectively. At this, Hiwata told him that he would have to read his opponent's mind and find out their moves. Only then would he be able to stop them. The seniors sitting outside were very impressed by Hiwata's understanding. Hiwata had always been very self-conscious. He might have failed to compete with others due to his short stature, but he never gave up, and he was working as a pillar of the team today. Seeing this, they began to understand why the coach had chosen Sakamoto as the central defender. But Yuzo also felt that the coach's real aim was to train Sakamoto's skills. Sakamoto was still marking number 10, but this time, he did exactly as Hiwata had taught him. Read his opponent's mind and keep a little distance from them, because if he got too close, the opponent could trick him and take the ball forward. But even then, number 10 managed to pass Sakamoto with his fast speed, which caused a little stir among the Sayazaki players, and Hiwata even gave Sakamoto a flying kick for this. He told him to defend without carelessness. Following his words again, Sakamoto again went after number 10, and this time he was largely successful in stopping him. He started understanding all his tricks and tried to confuse him as much as possible. This made number 10 quite uncomfortable, and he slapped Sakamoto. But Sakamoto didn't stop at this, but continuously used his defensive techniques. Then, taking advantage of the opportunity, he snatched the ball from his grasp. Seeing this, Kitai got scared that Sakamoto might actually take his position, so he started cheering for the opposite team, which made his other teammates very angry at him. Sakamoto kept running throughout the match to snatch the ball from every player of the opposition team, and succeeded in doing so. Seeing his amazing growth, Yuzu said that what the coach had thought had come true. That night in the cafeteria, the coach asked Sakamoto if he liked playing defense. Sakamoto was about to say something, but then he ignored it and said that tomorrow he would play in the forward position. Hearing this, Kitai's patience broke, and he tried to tie a rope around his neck. But fortunately, his teammates stopped him from doing so. During the strategy meeting, the coach decided to try new players as well as new formations in the next match, which made the seniors feel that they would surely lose the match now. So, they threatened the juniors and warned them to play well. But Sakamoto was disappointed. He quietly walked away from there. Jin saw him leaving. Running, Sakamoto started thinking about his teammates. He thought about all those who had helped him. He felt very bad thinking that his old friends wouldn't be able to play with him anymore. He wanted to play with everyone as before. He started crying. Then, Jin came there. Both of them sat on the railing by the sea and shared their thoughts. Jin didn't talk about fitting into the team or not fitting in, but rather, he started talking about 4 months ago when they first met each other. He said that he liked meeting him and playing with him very much. Whatever happens in the future, it won't affect their friendship. Saying this, he left from there. Hearing his words, Sakamoto realized something. The next morning, Sakamoto looked very excited and energetic for his match, which surprised everyone. Then, he went to Jin and bowed to him, thanking him because of him he had found his answer. The next match between Saizaki and Yushin team began. About 25 minutes had passed. Meanwhile, Mizuki got a golden opportunity and took a powerful shot, but the opposite team's goalkeeper saved it. But before the goalkeeper could breathe, Jin took another shot, which the goalkeeper also saved with great difficulty. Ubakata couldn't believe that Saizaki's team had scored 2 goals in only 20 minutes. She told the coach that their team was much stronger than the opposite team. They weren't even able to attack. Meanwhile, Mizuki got another opportunity on the field and made a brilliant hit, but the goalkeeper also saved it with great difficulty. Seeing these scenes, the Yushin team's coach asked his assistant about the match status. The assistant said that Seizaki's team had taken a total of 15 shots so far. Meanwhile, the Yushin team's goalkeeper couldn't understand what was happening. Although they knew that a team qualifying for the national level could come here and their strong defense was ready for it, what was happening? How was the ball reaching Seizaki's players every time? How were their waves crashing their players? He carefully watched all the players' moves. Then his eyes fell on Sakamoto, who was running after the ball the whole time and snatching the ball from them and immediately passing it to his team's player. He understood that Sakamoto was behind this wave of Saizaki. Meanwhile, Hiwara believes that Sakamoto repeatedly getting the ball is due to his defensive strategy. He doesn't take the ball forward to score, but passes it to his teammate as soon as he gets it. Hearing this, Ubakata is completely shocked that a striker can play like this. Even the star players of other school teams appreciate Sakamoto's ability. While playing, Sakamoto remembers something from his childhood when he took his mother out in a wheelchair. He had a lot of difficulty pushing her wheelchair, and passers-by were also obstructing his path. He got very angry about this. Then his mother explained to him that people behave this way unknowingly because they are also very busy themselves. She said that we should put ourselves in others' shoes and have empathy for them because kindness is strength. Her teaching still gives Sakamoto strength, with which he slides and passes the ball to Mizuki, and Mizuki scores a hat-trick goal with a brilliant header. Everyone, including the coach, feels very proud seeing Sakamoto's dedicated sportsmanship. Finally, Saizeki's team wins the match with complete dominance. All the team members cannot stop praising Sakamoto's play, while all the other teams also feel that this team is really dangerous after seeing Saizeki's performance. During the strategy meeting, Yuzu started discussing their next team, Sakan. This team was very strong and had not lost any match so far, especially their captain Tasa, who was an even better player than Kichai. Hearing Yusu's name, Sakamoto remembered losing the previous final, while Kimishita got angry because he also played in the same position, but last time his opponent had completely defeated him. Then Hiwara poured water on Kimishita to calm him down. Meanwhile, Captain Mizuki accidentally went into a dark room where he saw Tasa kissing a girl. He was about to leave quietly when Tasa stopped him. Coincidentally, Kimishita was also passing by and overheard their conversation. He was shocked to learn that Mizuki had admitted that Kimishita was not as good a player as Tasa. Hearing this, Kimishita left with a sad heart. On the other hand, when Kichai came out of the public bath, he saw the Sakan team's center back player. He teased Kichai, saying that Sakamoto, player number 17, was an even more formidable player than him. Hearing this, Kichai angrily chased him but accidentally hit the ceiling and fainted. When he regained consciousness, he saw Sakamoto in front of him and angrily headbutted him. On the other side, Yuzu and the coach were strategizing for the match. Meanwhile, Jin was competing with his opposing striker in the sauna to see who could stay there longer. Seeing both of them, the whole team was excited, but when the door opened, they saw that both of them had fainted. The next day, the match started with full enthusiasm. Both team strikers were provoking each other. Kimishita's behavior towards Captain Mizuki was a little strange. Meanwhile, Sakamoto was cheering everyone up. Although Kichai ignored him, the rest of the players were happy and the coach was also encouraging them. As soon as the match started, the Sakan team took control of the ball. The ball was with Tasa and two Saizeki players were trying to snatch it, but he maintained control of the ball very easily. He kicked powerfully and the ball rapidly moved towards the goalpost. Then Himura jumped into the air, adjusted the ball, and scored a goal, beating the goalkeeper. Seeing this brilliant move, Saizeki's team was stunned. After scoring the goal, Himura took off his jersey and started celebrating. But the coach nudged him and told him that this goal would not be valid because the linesman had signaled offside. In fact, Yuzu had already adopted the strategy of advancing the defense, which created an offside trap. Although Himura's brilliant skill impressed the first-year players, Sakamoto replied that their team also had a super-fast first-year genius, Jin. Yuzu deliberately provoked Jin not to let the opposing team dominate. Hearing this, Jin's blood boiled. As soon as he got the ball, he showed his fast dribbling skill and took a powerful shot. The goalkeeper somehow managed to stop the ball, but the other players were stunned to see that this was a battle between two first-year geniuses, Jin and Himura. Kimishita took a corner kick and crossed the ball into the penalty area. Kichai tried to head the ball, but Higuchi pushed him, making him miss the header. Kichai was about to hit him in anger when the coach stopped him. After this, Higuchi continuously teased Kichai, which made him angry. At first, it seemed like Kichai had calmed down, but the next moment, he angrily took a powerful kick, which hit the crossbar and went out. Seeing this, Kimishita lost faith in Kichai. Meanwhile, the ball bounced back and Jin snatched it. Amara had already sensed this move. Jin faced Tasa, but he easily bypassed him and rapidly moved towards the goal. Then, a woman holding an umbrella appeared at the edge of the field, which suddenly gave Jin energy and he scored an excellent goal, giving Saizeki's team the lead. After this, Himura carelessly served the ball, which Jin quickly snatched, and the match reached an exciting turning point. Suddenly, injured Jin tried to stand up and said that he was fine. The team got a free kick. Everyone thought that Kichai would take this free kick because his face looked very tense, but to everyone's surprise, Jin took the free kick with his left foot and scored a brilliant goal. Everyone was surprised to see this because no one knew that Jin could also score with his left foot. After this goal, the Sakan team was trailing by 2 goals. Ubakata was worried because the opposing team usually scored at the end of the first half. Then Jin again took the ball and moved towards the opponent's goal and shot, but this time the goalkeeper saved it. The referee blew the whistle for the end of the first half. All the players ran out to celebrate happily, but Sakamoto looked at Jin with worried eyes, because he had shot with his left foot. Jin saw his mother and moved towards her and greeted her. The coach decided to keep the same formation for the second half, but Sakamoto realized that Jin was injured. Jin told Sakamoto to keep quiet and try to play. But Sakamoto shouted loudly and told the coach about Jin's injury. Everyone was surprised to hear this. Then Jin also had to admit that he was injured and whispered in Sakamoto's ear that he would not betray him. Ubakata was upset hearing their conversation, but when the coach told Sakamoto to go on the field, he was not discouraged, but was filled with even more enthusiasm. Himura was disappointed because he was the team's main striker, but he had achieved nothing in the first half. Moreover, a new player, Jin, had shone brightly. The coach called him and told him that he was planning to add another striker. Hearing this, Himura got angry because he had always been the sole striker. The coach ignored his displeasure, but then Tasa threatened the coach that if he added another striker, he would leave the team. The coach had no other option, so he gave Himura 10 minutes. As soon as the second half started, there was a stir among the spectators because Jin was substituted and Sakamoto came on the field in his place, wearing jersey number 17. The Sakan team kicked off and Himura, without any support, alone took the ball forward and shot. But he only got a corner kick. Tasa took the corner and passed the ball to Himura. Himura lived up to the expectations of his teammates, dribbled brilliantly, and scored a magnificent goal. He took off his shirt and celebrated, while Tasa grabbed his head and said that they still had 2 more goals to score. After this, Tasa and Himura's excellent partnership led to the second goal and the score was tied. Now the Saizeki team started feeling the pressure because only 10 minutes were left in the match. The team felt that now they could only rely on Mizuki. Kimishita gained possession of the ball and tried to pass it to Mizuki, but the pass failed. Mizuki didn't complain, which reminded Kimishita of his conversation with Tasa. He began to feel that Mizuki had lied to him and that he had never truly lived up to his expectations. After this, in a match, Tasa provoked Kimishita by saying that if he had given Mizuki a better pass, he might have scored. Kimishita tried to stay calm, but in the next few attacks, he and Mizuki failed to coordinate. Meanwhile, Tasa and Himura scored a third goal, putting the Saizeki team behind again. Kimishita fainted while struggling with Tasa for the ball. He remembered his early days when he was very arrogant and always gave challenging passes to strikers, but Mizuki always managed to catch his passes and score. Now Kimishita started giving some difficult passes with full force, which Mizuki successfully catched every time. Higuchi tried to clear the ball, but then Sakamoto defended it with his face. After this, there was some brilliant passing between Kimishita and Mizuki, which worried the opposing team. Kimishita gave a reliable pass to Mizuki, who scored a goal, leveling the score. Now the entire stadium erupted in cheers, while Jin was angry because he couldn't play. Ubakata angrily threw his collar and told him to raise his head and watch his team play. Then Sakamoto got a golden opportunity, but he hesitated, fearing he would miss the goal. He remembered his old memories, dropping a rubber band in nervousness during an exam, being the first to arrive at the parking lot but getting stuck in the bathroom. Jin now regretted his words and slowly stood up. When Sakamoto got another chance to score a goal, he saw Jin standing behind the goalpost cheering him on. This time, Sakamoto shot without
hesitation and scored a goal. Jin happily ran and hugged Sakamoto. The match ended, and Saijiki's team registered a brilliant victory. Higuchi apologized to Kichai, saying that the insulting things he had said were just a psychological tactic. In reality, he acknowledged Kichai's ability. Hearing this, Kichai's nose swelled. Meanwhile, Tosa praised Kimishita's ability. As they were talking, Mizuki suddenly took off his shirt, which surprised everyone. In reality, Mizuki thought he was going to change his jersey, but that wasn't the case. Tosa also felt that Sakamoto had performed brilliantly and recognized his talent. Captain Mizuki accidentally wore his jersey inside out and praised Sakamoto. Sakamoto was worried about how to apologize to Jin, but then Jin himself came and dragged him to his mother. Seeing this, his mother was also surprised. Both Jin's mother and Sakamoto were hesitant to talk, but then Jin's mother asked about Sakamoto. Sakamoto awkwardly introduced himself as Jin's best friend, which made Jin's mother laugh. After this, Jin introduced himself as merely his classmate and teammate. Then Jin's mother happily blessed him. Before leaving, Jin made his mother promise that she would come to watch his match in the national tournament. His mother happily accepted this promise. The intense summer training ended and Saijiki's team won all their matches. Now they were preparing for the national tournament. Early in the morning, Sakamoto and the first-year players were practicing with full enthusiasm. On the other hand, Jin was sitting in one place due to his injury, waiting to recover quickly. Everyone understood that Sakamoto had now become an important part of the Saijiki team. During practice, Kyushu shouted with enthusiasm and announced the match schedule. In the tournament, the team was divided into 4 groups and all the matches were going to be very tough, especially the Toin school which had represented the Tokyo region for 5 consecutive years. They were a very strong team. Meanwhile, there was an atmosphere of enthusiasm among the players in other schools as well. Everyone was very excited about this tournament. The coach told the team that this was the third-year players' last chance, so they had to win at all costs this time. As Sakamoto was cycling home, he became emotional thinking that this would be his last chance to play with his seniors. He and his first-year friends were so tense that they couldn't sleep all night. The tournament had begun. Mizuki gave a brilliant speech to the team which boosted everyone's morale. Kimishita looked at the scoreboard where their team had won the first match, but now they had to win 3 more matches to become national champions. In the next match, the weather was very bad and it was raining heavily. Meanwhile, Kichai was under Ubakata's care because he was badly injured. On the field, the other players were constantly being fouled, and 3 main players from Inyon school were watching this match, but they found this match boring. Now, Ubakata told them that this was the same team that had defeated Toin school in the group stage last year. After this, the coach introduced the players of the Toin team, including Captain Ashima, defender Yahaba, and goalkeeper Ishiguchi. At this time, the team facing Saijiki was not very strong, but due to the rain, they had the advantage of playing unfairly. As soon as Kimishita reached the ball, an opposing team player kicked him in the face. Seeing this, Mizuki got angry and pushed that player, which resulted in him getting another yellow card. Now Mizuki was disqualified from playing the next match. The 3 players from Toin left the field after seeing this because they realized that Saijiki's team was now in danger. Saijiki's team won the match, but this time the victory celebration was subdued. Mizuki's suspension deeply affected the team. Jin was still recovering from his injury and Kichai's ankle ligaments were also injured. When Sakamoto expressed his concern to Kichai, Kichai head-butted him but then decided that he would now place all the team's hopes on Sakamoto. Sakamoto accepted this responsibility with full seriousness. On the other hand, the Toin team was analyzing the situation. They felt that Saijiki's situation was very bad now because they would play the next match without their 3 main strengths. The players of Kawahara High School were having fun watching their team's video, but when they saw Saijiki team's video, they got scared. The next day when Saijiki's team entered the field, the coach was afraid that his players' confidence might waver because they were playing without their 3 main players. But as soon as they opened the door, they were surprised. The entire team was full of confidence and enthusiasm. Captain Mizuki stood at the door and handed over the captaincy to Sakamoto. The entire team was determined to fulfill Mizuki's unfinished dream and win this match.